Now You See Me takes us into the mesmerizing world of four talented magicians, Daniel Atlas, Merritt McKinney, Henley Reeves, and Jack Wilder, who are brought together by a mysterious benefactor to pull off a series of elaborate heists. But who is pulling the strings behind the scenes, and what is their ultimate goal? The film follows the incredible adventures of the group of exceptionally skilled magicians who call themselves the Four Horsemen. These masterful illusionists take to the stage with confidence of Olympic athletes, performing awe-inspiring feats that seem just almost too incredible, to be honest, and yet they pull them off with perfect precision, aided by computer-generated special effects. The group each possess unique talents and skills that make them stand out in their field, and they are brought together by an anonymous benefactor who remains hidden and only communicates with them through symbols and other means that only fellow magicians could understand. After spending a year honing their craft, the four magicians perform a series of exceptional shows in Las Vegas under the moniker of the Four Horsemen. Their performances are sponsored by Arthur Tressler, a wealthy insurance magnate who sees the potential to make a lot of money off of their shows. The team boasts a diverse set of skills and personalities. The leader, J. Daniel Atlas, is a master of deception and an expert in the art of card tricks. And with his quick wit and smooth tongue, he dazzles audiences, leaving them guessing with his motto, "The closer you look, the less you see." Meanwhile, Merritt McKinney is a cunning mentalist with a penchant for cruelty and holds the power to manipulate minds with his hypnosis. Jack Wilder, the team's resident pickpocket, has a repertoire of skills that make him a valuable asset in any situation. And then finally there's Henley Reeves, the fearless escape artist known for her daring stunts, which includes being locked in a tank full of piranhas, from which she always manages to emerge unscathed. Together, the team of talented performers uses their unique abilities to execute mind-boggling heists that leave the audience in awe. In the grand finale of their show, the magicians call upon a volunteer from the audience to assist them with their next trick. The unsuspecting volunteer, chosen for this daring feat, is an account holder at the Credit Republicain de Paris. A trick involves teleporting this person to the bank in the heart of Paris, where he's tasked with activating an air duct that suctions up all the money in the bank and showers it onto the astonished crowd in Las Vegas. The audience is left in amazement as they witness the seemingly impossible feat unfold before their very eyes. The movie's plot centers around a bank robbery being investigated by FBI agent Dylan Rhodes, and in order to help solve the case, he teams up with Alma Dre, an Interpol agent, and together they begin interrogating the Four Horsemen, who had just performed at the bank right before the robbery occurred. The group is then released despite their suspicions due to insufficient concrete evidence, and later Dylan meets with Thaddeus Bradley, a former magician who earns his living by exposing other magicians' tricks. Bradley informs Dylan that the Horsemen had stolen the money weeks before the bank robbery, but had cleverly managed to manipulate the audience's perception of the events in order to cover their tracks. Thaddeus has come to the conclusion that the group of magicians are responsible for the theft of the actual money from a delivery van that was transporting it to the bank, and they replaced the real money with counterfeit bills that were designed to vanish without leaving any trace upon remote activation. To successfully execute the plan, the group had been observing a bank customer for several weeks while he was in Paris before selecting him from the audience during one of their shows. And although it did appear to be a random act, he was deliberately chosen. The customer was never truly teleported, but instead dropped into a meticulous replica of the bank's vault that was right beneath the stage. Dylan, Dre, and Thaddeus all attend the Four Horsemen's highly anticipated performance in New Orleans, and the group's electrifying finale involves the daring heist of approximately $140 million from Tressler's bank account. The money was then distributed to the audience, comprised of individuals whose insurance claims had been unjustly denied or reduced by Tressler's company. Despite Dylan's attempt to apprehend the group, they managed to escape with the aid of hypnotized audience members, leaving Tressler understandably outraged and desperate to seek revenge. As a result, he enlists Thaddeus to expose and humiliate the group publicly during their next performance. After researching the Four Horsemen's past, Dre then discovers rumors of a secret society of magicians known as the Eye. This society is said to take from the wealthy and powerful and give to the less fortunate, and as Dylan explores deeper into the subject, he learns that the Eye only accepts new members twice every century. Aspirants have to undergo a series of commands with complete obedience, and only those who emerge victorious will be inducted. Dre is skeptical of Dylan's suggestion that the case may be linked to a magician named Lionel Shrike, whom Thaddeus had exposed 3 decades prior. However, Dylan insists that Shrike's death, which occurred during a dangerous underwater stunt involving a safe, may have been related to the Eye's activities. The Horsemen are headquartered in New York City, and recently law enforcement authorities had conducted a raid to apprehend them, but they managed to escape. Tragically, one of the members, Jack, met an untimely ending when he crashed a stolen vehicle that then burst into flames and exploded. But despite the setback, the remaining members are determined to complete their final performance. Their target is a safe that's made by the same company that manufactured the safe that led to the death of Lionel Shrike. The safe is well secured within a high-security vault containing a staggering $500 million in the company's savings. And after an intense performance at 5 points, the Horsemen then disappear into thin air, leaving the crowd in awe. But their disappearance is only the beginning of the show. Suddenly, the air is full with a shower of money as loads of cash rain down upon the audience. The crowd then goes wild, frantically grabbing the money as it falls all around them, but their excitement is short-lived when they soon realize that money is fake. Unbeknownst to them, the real money is actually hidden in Thaddeus's Range Rover, and unfortunately for him, he's arrested and assumed to be the 5th Horseman. Despite the protests of innocence, he's taken into custody and left to fight for his freedom against charges of theft and deception. Dylan then pays a visit to Thaddeus in his cell, where Thaddeus reveals that the safe could only have been removed if Jack was still alive and they had an inside accomplice. Dylan's sudden disappearance from the locked cell and reappearance outside confirms Thaddeus' suspicion that Dylan is the 5th Horseman, and he informs Thaddeus that he will spend the rest of his life in jail and departs while Thaddeus asks for an explanation. Later, we find out that Jack's death had been staged, and he reunites with the Horsemen. They meet their mysterious benefactor, who turns out to be Dylan, and Dylan welcomes them into the Eye. Later on, at the Pont des Arts in France, Dre is met by Dylan, who reveals himself to be the son of Lionel Shrike, the magician who drowned many years before. Dylan confesses that he masterminded and designed the plot to take revenge on those who were involved in his father's death. Tressler's company had refused to pay insurance on his father's death, and the company that produced the substandard safe that was used in the trick led to its failure. However, Dre decides not to turn him in, and Dylan then magically produces a lock and key, which Dre takes before locking the lock on a chain fence along with other locks that have been put there over the years. She throws the key into the river and proclaims, "One more secret to lock away." Now You See Me is a roller coaster ride of twists, turns, and breathtaking illusions that will keep you guessing until the very end. With its stellar cast, mind-bending plot, and jaw-dropping visuals, the movie is a must-watch for fans of magic, mystery, and intrigue. Have you seen this film? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, don't forget to like today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.